to you by Better Cool. Works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn, and indigestion. Trust Better Cool. Enjoy life.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Hello and good evening. Thank you for watching UBC Television. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold and we'll be joined by Elizabeth Nakakuni on the sign language. This is News Tonight, and let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Yoweri Museveni has congratulated the United Nations for surviving all the years and saying that the concept of the United Nations is important, particularly if the global body sticks to its main points as stated in the UN Charter. He described the United Nations concept as a civilized one, adding that it's a realization of having minimum standards to the international diversities. The president was speaking during the inaugural dinner that he and the First Lady Janet Museveni hosted last night at State House in Entebbe to commemorate the United Nations 74 years and Uganda's 57 years as a UN member state. Mr. Museveni, however, asked the United Nations body to concentrate on the interstate relations. He, at that juncture, re-echoed former Tanzanian President Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, who said that independence meant freedom to make our own mistakes. The president further called on the UN to let people manage their own internal affairs, adding that let them make their own mistakes and learn from them. He used the occasion to identify the two major problems of man as being oppression by nature and oppression of man by fellow man, saying that once people understood these two things, it becomes easy for them to grapple and look for solutions to those challenges. The United Nations resident coordinator, Ms. Rosa Malango, commended President Museveni and the government of Uganda for the humanitarian efforts, especially the country's hospitality to refugees, support to peace and security operations, as well as development agendas. She noted that Sustainable Development Goals represented a universal call to action to end poverty and protect planet Earth, as well as ensuring that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by the year 2030. In more news, the Vice President Edward Sekandi Kiwanuka has hailed religious organizations for creating harmony and coexistence among Ugandans. Sekandi was officiating a fundraising drive for St. Peter's Catholic Church, Nabwei, Namutumba district. We'll take a look.
Vice President Edward Kiwanuka Sekandi has called upon leaders, especially in the local governments, to support religious organizations, saying they contribute to the stable socio-economic well-being of the people they serve. The Vice President, who was speaking at the fundraising drive for St. Peter's Catholic Church in Nabwei Sub-County in Namutumba District, told those who attended the event that government appreciates the church contribution to the development of the country, adding that the church has been a strong ally in complementing government efforts towards service delivery.
Both church and government should tell people that our God is the God of abundance and does not want his people to be poor. As clearly stated in the Gospel of St. John, said Jesus came to give people a chapter 10, verse 10. As a household income is good news, both for government and church, because both institutions need money to build infrastructure, such as the church we have gathered here to fundraise for and to deliver services.
Sekandi, who contributed 5 million shillings towards the construction, pledged more support to the project and urged the clergy to mobilize followers into activities that will improve household incomes, which in turn, he said, will also support church activities. Sekandi also urged Christians to be exemplary and the salt of the world, as taught in the Holy Scriptures, and also urged the community to support religious works and projects, saying they are best suited to sustain such projects for the benefit of their own areas. He said that the church and other religious entities have had a remarkable and effective contribution to the development of the country in the provision of social services, and pledged the government commitment in providing infrastructure and maintenance of peace. Tenets, he said, are key in the transformation of the country. He called upon the church and the leaders at all levels to make use of available government programs to mobilize their communities into income-generating activities and ensure that household expenditure is less than the average household earning. The function, organized by the State Minister for Lands and Member of Parliament for Bukono County, Persis Namuganza, was attended by local leaders and the religious leaders from various denominations. Etole Ed Akenjo, UBC News.
Well, in more news, President Yoweri Museveni has contributed 100 million shillings to Shamaire Catholic Church Center in Tungamo district during a fundraising drive at which his portrait alone fetched 17 million shillings. The president, who participated in a fundraising drive to complete the church building that was located in Shamaire Township in Kajara County of Ntungamo district, assured Kagamba Parish priest Reverend Father Alphonse Mukundani that he will also support the parish development model farm.
Muremu mwateekateeka nk'omu 12 n'abugana abebembezi ba NRM omu Rutungamo. Ate ekyamuheru okulunda ne sente z'ekereziya ekyo kitureetsera. Tinkumanya tunatunga rupoota gikumanya ekirikwetengwa konka kunahurira ngu hariyo okushonda sente naje nkamaze amatwarire miliyoni 100 naretaho 30 nizo nareta hafi 50 zizakwiza rero umususuro twara atatuzire mbe akayiguta narumu no kudamugire kandi bonande mesaki.
The Minister for Health in charge of primary health care, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, also Moyo District's Woman MP representative, has called upon parents in the district to keep their children in school to protect them from teenage pregnancies. Dr. Moriku joined MPs on the Parliamentary Forum on Food Security, Population and Development on an awareness campaign against early marriage and teenage pregnancies in Moyo District. Let's take a look.
For Moyo District Health Office show that young boys and girls between the ages of 10 to 19 years are engaging in sexual intercourse. Under this age group, only 9% of the boys and 2% of the girls respectively are using condoms.
Some of our boys are also using condom, and 2% of the girls are also using condom. That tells you that they're in the sexual activity. That in a way distorts the policy provision that young people are supposed to abstain.
This is something to worry about for the leaders in the district.
The problem is that they get access to information anywhere, especially the social media. Today, parents are not gatekeepers for their children anymore.
The State Minister for Primary Health Care, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, also Moyo District Woman Representative, says the policy on reproductive health and rights, now before cabinet, will help guide the young people on the use of contraception.
We have various appropriate information according to the age group. Information should be given according to appropriate age group. The information a 10-year-old child is given may not be the same information a 16-year-old child is given. You get that?
Legislators blame this anomaly on families and teachers for ignoring their role.
Going for sports betting, casinos, for disco dancing, and so on and so forth.
Members of Parliament on the Forum on Food Security, Population and Development, together with the United Nations Population Fund, are traversing all corners of Moyo District to raise awareness on teenage pregnancies that stand at 16%. National figures stand at 25%.
The coming of the members of Parliament to Moyo District, it is going to have an impact in the sense that where there is a will, there is a way. Where you involve the community, you are going to change their mindset, you are going to change the attitude. Where the community are participating in giving solutions.
Recently, the Embassy of Netherlands in Uganda and the in-country UN population body UNFPA signed a partnership agreement worth 98 billion shillings for a 4-year program to advance sexual and reproductive health and rights in West Nile and Acholi sub-regions in Uganda. Bernard Yiga, UBC TV, Moyo.
Well, thank you, Bernard Yiga. Now, in other news, the Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs has paid a courtesy visit to the UPDF troops guarding the United Nations installations at the AMISOM office headquarters in Mogadishu. This visit was part of the itinerary of the committee that is in Somalia. Details follow.
At the arrival, the State Minister for Defense, Colonel Engola Okello, inspected the guard of honor mounted by UPDF Unga Force. Currently, Uganda is the largest troop contributor of the strong AMISOM force since 2007. Uganda is contributing roughly 80% of the total number.
I have to say thank you to my brothers and sisters, most especially the sisters, for sacrificing.
While speaking to the UPDF troops at the AMISOM headquarters in Mogadishu, the chairperson in Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs, Amure Doreen, said she had found them in fine mood and carrying out their duties diligently.
When I look at you people like this, to me I thought in Somalia nobody lives. Everybody is either dead or is about to die. But I thank God that because of the effort of Ugandan government and a very good stewardship of His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, we are able to make peace both back at home and here in Somalia.
The State Minister for Defense, Colonel Engola Okello Charles, said once described as a mission impossible has been made possible by the mighty UPDF.
2 years back, there was no time to pack machines, which means our boys have done a very tremendous job. And now they can pack and rest a bit, and if there's any firing, they are ready. Your children are ready to operate 24 hours.
Colonel Engola described the UPDF mission as one that showed the entire world that African can deal with their own problems.
Take the culture of our president, the commander-in-chief, who has decided that the whole of African countries must be pacified, must be in peace. And we are not going to get tired as UPDF, and as commanders of UPDF, we shall not get tired. We shall continue with what the president has given us and what command he has given us, and we shall make sure Africans stay in peace.
Uganda was the first African country to deploy troops under the African Union Mission in Somalia in 2007. The entry of the Ugandan troops into Mogadishu saw them break all Al-Shabaab backbone, and later they withdrew from Somalia's capital, that they once controlled. Mutesa Sira Haruna reporting from Mogadishu for UBC News.
Uganda is celebrating International Day of Rural Women. The celebrations are scheduled to take place on Thursday, 24th October 2019 at Arapai Sub-County Headquarters, Soroti District. The theme is Rural Women's Economic Empowerment through Saving and Affordable Credit. The guest of honor will be the Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development, Honorable Janet B. Mukwaya. The national celebration is organized by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development with support from the UN Women and the Embassy of Sweden.
Does heartburn stop you from eating the things you love? Eating too fast, alcohol or spicy food can trigger acidity, heartburn, indigestion or flatulence. Your best bet is Better Cool. Better Cool works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn and indigestion. Trust Better Cool. Enjoy life.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Mommy, you can't touch it. You can't touch it. Daddy, what's wrong?
I've had a long day, Angel, and I have a bad headache.
Oh, I'll give you something that will make you feel better if you promise to play with us.
Headache? Toothache. Unapoumwa, unataka kitulizo kwa haraka gani? Mara moja. Pain and Fever Reliever. A quality product from Beta Healthcare. Contains paracetamol, caffeine and aspirin. Beta Healthcare. Caring for all. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Welcome back. You're still watching the news tonight here on UBC TV. Now, in more news, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has lauded the Seventh-day Adventist Church for its social relationship with the government of Uganda. This was during a donors conference held at the construction of an over $2 billion house of God. This was at Kitio SDA Church in Budibujo District in a message delivered through the Defense Minister Adolf Mwesije. Mr. Museveni appealed to the SDA Church leadership in Rwenzori to front the gospel of unity and peace for development and prosperity of believers. He, however, vowed to defeat anti-Ugandan elements. Now, over 100 million shillings was collected in the cash, with President Museveni pledging 30 million shillings. We take a look.
Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. Those who sow division ideas by emphasizing differences among our people will always be defeated because they are not acting in the best interest of the people. I therefore call upon the Seventh-day Adventist Church to continue spearheading the preaching of unity, peace and tolerance among the believers. And His Excellency the President Yoweri Museveni will contribute 30 million. And the President
we as a church constitute up to about 320,000 members in the entire mountain area. Where we are today, as I bring forth the following highlights. Chicho SDA Church was founded in about 1960 by local people who had been baptized either at Rumate or Kawu within Budibujo.
Relatedly, the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Wilberforce Chitiol Walida, has called for more devotion and commitment to God to make the world a better place to live in. Chitiol Walida said that people need to be rooted in the Word of God, not only in church, but also using other sources.
The Executive Director, Words of Hope Ministry, Reverend Canon Captain Titus Baraka, says broadcasting the gospel via various media platforms is making a positive difference in evangelization.
The purpose is to see people grow and getting rooted in the faith in Jesus Christ. Many people today run from place to place looking for miracles, looking for many things, but they are not rooted in the Word of God. Our country today have so many people who profess to be Christians, but they are not rooted in their Christianity. And that's why our country is in chaos. The purpose of Words of Hope Radio Ministries is to teach the people the truth about the biblical truth that that brings people to be set free. And therefore, we meet listeners, we broadcast. We are now broadcasting in 16 different districts of Uganda, in 16 different languages of Uganda, and 15 different dioceses of the Church of Uganda.
The Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Wilberforce Kitolwalira, commended efforts by the Word of Hope Ministry in spreading the gospel through the media. Preachers from United States of America Words of Hope International Ministry also graced the day-long event. Story by Beatrice Naziri for UBC.
The Uganda Muslim Supreme Council has asked for the blessing of Muslim students during this examination period. Muslim leaders are particularly being asked to emphasize mass blessings for the Muslim candidates like other religions are doing. Now Sheikh Swaibu Musa Sentomero says that the Muslim fraternity should also emulate. Let's take a look.
Praying for students in candidate classes aims at seeking divine intervention because fearing God is believed to be the source of wisdom. The proprietor, King Fahad Muslim Primary School in Busega, Sheikh Swaibu Sentomero, says it's very important for students in the same faith to pray together before their exams. He therefore wants Uganda Muslim Supreme Council to emphasize blessing of Muslim children candidates like other religions. Sheikh Sentomero made the remarks during the dua for P7 candidates of 2019 at King Fahad Muslim Primary School in Busega. Educating their children. The headmistress, Hajati Halima Nabachwa Sentomero, encouraged parents to offer their children hands-on skills during the approaching third-term holiday. Bella Masangano and Salongo Kasibante for UBC News.
Well, in the world of business, Ugandans have been cautioned to change their mindsets towards Operation Wealth Creation. Lieutenant General Charles Agina was speaking at Holy City Church in Entebbe.
To Ugandans, that I want all Ugandans to know that this is a doable operation, and we shall transform all Ugandans in terms of economic transformation, both in agriculture and also all other economic development at the local governments. And all the conditions and enablers that are required we have. The youth just require proper engagement for them to see the menu we have in OWC in terms of economic transformation. The menu we have is very rich, and they have the biggest role to play, because most of what we do now requires technologies, and the modern technologies requires apps, requires computer. They are the ones who will be able to drive all this.
We say what we have
be in our hands. Let us give it to people, let us see, and we shall bless them so that their jobs, each and every person becomes an employer, that they can employ different other people into our country.
All they need from us is to make groups of 60 or 41 when you're in an urban setting. Then under those groups, make committee.
This opportunity, we are really blessed. I'm sure women are going to achieve a lot from this initiative. We need to work as women. We need to prosper.
And in the world of sports, Kampala Capital City Authority Football Club and Algeria's Paradou Football Club have played to scoreless CAF Confederations Cup preliminary second round clash at the StarTimes Stadium in Lugogo. Kampala Capital City Authority Football Club and Proline FC are Uganda's representatives in this CAF Confederation Cup.
In a game of few chances, the Kampala Capital City Authority Football Club has failed to make home advantage count against Algerian outfit Paradou Football Club. Donned in its yellow home kit, Kampala Capital City Authority Football Club failed to utilize the few chances in a game of a resolute defending by the visitors. But despite not getting the first leg advantage, Kampala Capital City Authority head coach Mike Motebi is optimistic.
But in the end, it's a good result. Now we have to work hard to go over there, play with belief, because like I told you, on the continent, if you play and you're sure of yourself, this thing home advantage. Usually we had that perception that when you are away, the referees are going to be biased, but the referees nowadays are not biased. So it is you go there, play, and do your work. And I believe it is a balanced tie.
The Algerians will be proud of the result, but know that a lot still needs to be done to secure progress to the group phase of the CAF Confederations Cup.
It's true, you win 3-0, 3-hand, but the story not have the same. I think it's good performance with us, in our home. In our home, it's very good performance. But you know, the soccer is to say any question, not reality, not mathematics. You know, it's very important for us repose now and make the good trip for Algeria for preparing the next game.
The two teams meet again in the second leg fixture next Sunday in Algeria. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
Wales missed out on a first World Cup final in a gut-wrenching fashion as Handré Pollard's 76th minute penalty snatched victory for South Africa in a gripping semi-final to set up a showdown against England. The first half was a war of attrition, 3 Pollard penalties, giving the Springboks a 9-6 lead as they sought to overpower Wales up front and kick them into submission. Dan Biggar dragged Wales level with a penalty early in the second half, but then Damian De Allende burst through the Welsh defensive line to put South Africa 16-9 ahead. Wales sensed that they had to go for broke, and after boldly opting for a scrum rather than a penalty in front of the posts against their hulking opponents, they worked the ball wide for Josh Adams to dive over for a converted try that made it 16-16. Josh Adams is the top try scorer at the tournament with 6. That set up with a captivating final 10 minutes in which Wales drove forward in a desperate search for the score that would keep alive their hopes of ending Warren Gatland's reign with the ultimate prize in rugby. But they were denied as Pollard struck a 4th and match-winning penalty in the 76th minute.
And more, their 10-0 lead. Barrett goes up, Daly out-leaps him.
Well, it's been a marvelous bulletin. Thank you for joining us. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and on sign language we had Elizabeth Nakakoni. Catch us at 10 for more news updates.
Brought to you by Bettercool works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn, and indigestion. Trust Bettercool. Enjoy life.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.